Now, all right, let me be clear right now. Let me just be clear with this shit before I even get started with all this crap. So, number one, if you're going to assume that I'm talking bad about the restaurant in any giving way, then prove it to me where I've broken the guideline rules. If I don't mention the job's name, if I don't mention the job in any bad shape, like I talk bad about it or talk shit about the people that works there, as long I don't talk bad about any of that source, I didn't break the guidelines because I never did none of that shit. So if I was talking good about the restaurant and then y'all want to tell me to take it fucking down if I was talking good about it. So say for example, you got a person who has over 1 million fucking subscribers and your business is plummeting, right? And then all suddenly you need a pickup, right? So you know somebody who's working there with you has that many subscribers. I don't know why, if you have 1 million subscribers, why the fuck you will work there? You work at that job and all of a sudden their business is really getting screwed. So they come and ask you, hey, can you give us a, well, I like a shout out pretty much. So, but the guideline says if I mention the name of the job, will that also just mean you had to tell me to take it down after give you a shout out? Because I will be breaking the rule if I mention the name? Then just imagine that. So, now, see, you see how weird that shit is? That can really fuck you up. So, now, let me get down with this dumb shit here. So, pretty much, I went to go get tested on September 29th, 2020. And that was on a Tuesday of September. Now, I've been isolated. After I got tested positive, I was isolated the whole entire time. After I got tested positive, I never went anywhere else, besides I went straight the fuck home, right? And then turn around and stayed isolated the whole entire time for about 15 damn days. Or, today's the 16th, so 17 days. Literally. 17 days. Think about it, but today's October 16th. How you saying this is 17 days and today's not the 17th? Because it's not October 17th, so how is it 17 days? You remember I got sick on September 29th. It doesn't start until September 30th. That's the first day it starts. So September 30th, that's one. Then October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. That's 10 days right there. 11th. Oh, I'm sorry. Not I'm counting 11, but I'm thinking 10. So 10, right? That's 11. That's 11 days. The 12th. No, the 12th. Well, 12th is the 11th of October 11. So October 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th. How many days was that? September 30th. That's the first one. All the way to October 16th. That is 17 days. Right there. Been home isolated throughout the 14 days. I was ready to go. I was back to normal. I was been back to normal on October 7th because of high immune system over here, who's got good ass immune system, and was getting back to normal very quickly. Now, this is what happened. October 11th comes around the corner, and my mom, she was in a worst case scenario because she gotten this stuff from me, but you can tell me, well, you were just being fucking stupid. You didn't know what the fuck you was doing. You was told if you get the stuff, stay away from adults because they can get the worstest way. So, no, let me correct your fucking ass real quick. I was playing it fucking safe. But if you live with your own mom, right, and your mom's asking you for help, and you're a caregiver, and your mom's asking for help to change the bed, or because she can't do it, or I don't know, put a mask on her face because she can't, because she has a hard time putting the mask on her face, or cook for her because she can't stand up because her legs are shaky or whatever. Or, what else? Pretty much do anything else has to do with take caring of her, okay? So, and when you're doing this by yourself, how the fuck can you, not stay away from that? How? You show me. Call somebody else, come in here. Oh, wait, but that person's tested positive. So, getting somebody else inside the house is putting them at risk because they will get sick because of me. So now September 29th is when I got sick. Then October 7th is when my mom started getting worse. So October 11th comes around the corner. I call 911. I call the cops because it's 911. That's what said 911. I call the cops, right? Oh, I was thinking just a second ago, but I was like, oh, that's September 11th. But when I was thinking like October 11th, and I was thinking October is the 9th, like May is the 4th or something. You get what I'm saying? May the 4th be with you. But no, I'm saying like May is the 5th. That's the 5th month. January, February, March, April, May. I'm not stupid. I was just saying out loud, like. But I called the cops and then turn around. The cops came. Well, the cops in the ambulance came over on October 11th and came and picked her up because she was in the worstest case because she couldn't breathe. She was not being herself. She was being lethargic, right? So she wasn't being herself. So she wasn't thinking straight at the time when she was sick. And so I'm over here now taking care of all this business. I had to put money in a fucking bank. I had to go buy food. Well, that's normal for anybody, but I had to take care of all this business. I had to pay the fucking bills, right? And let me get started with that shit. So now I have to pay the bills and everything, but I'm still tested positive. But paper says otherwise I'm not, which it doesn't make no fucking sense. So what happens you go get tested, right? What happens you go get tested and it say negative, but they can't print that shit out. But the paper says that I am negative, but they want you to come with a paper that says tested negative. But if they can only give you a paper that's tested positive only, and that's the only thing they can do is just, if you're tested positive, they will give you a paper. But if you're tested negative, they don't give you a paper. But they should give you a paper that says tested negative. But if they're going to also tell you that they're not gonna do a test on you again because you is system free. That's what it says on mine. Because I'm not showing no systems. And then also what I heard over the news and all that shit, if you're not tested, if you're not showing any symptoms at all, then you don't need to get tested. I think that's what I was told, and that's what I heard from mostly on the news. Now, tell me what goes to your head, right? What goes to your head this whole entire time? Your job tells you one thing. I said job. I didn't break the guidelines, okay? So the job says you need to be fully negative, right? Now, here's the bullshit. All right, I went up there October 14th, got tested. The day of visit is 10/14/2020. It says it right the fuck there. Now, I'm going to show you exactly on the bottom of that page. I'm going to show you where I went. That's the place I went to, right? So now I want you to follow along with me, okay, and tell me what goes through your head. Right? So patient was evaluated today and found to be free of symptoms and examinations finding of acute/active of infection. Patient recently tested positive for on September 29th 2020 and has now met the CDC criteria to end this isolation, including returning to work and usual activities. That means I can go back. Patients should continue following all CDC and local government guidelines to reduce the transmission of the stuff. Now, this second paper, as you're looking at right now as we speak, right? Same fucking shit, but it's not the same thing that it says. But this paper, I got it on the same day. That does say this. You had a positive test today. You are directed to isolate and care for yourself at home unless you have wheezing symptoms. If you are wheezing symptoms, please call 911 or go to the nearest ER. And that's what happened to my mom, not me. So you may discontinue home isolation under the following conditions. At least 24 hours has passed since the resolution of a fever without the use of a fever reducing medication and improvements in respiratory symptoms, etc., cough, shortness of breathing, and at least 10 days has passed since the symptom first appeared. Patient first positive test on September 29, 2020 has since met CDC criteria to end its isolation and is found to be system free. Patient should continue to follow the CDC and the local guidelines regarding to the stuff, but may return to work. What goes through your head? I'm waiting for that response. You're tested positive, but then a piece of paper says otherwise. what goes through your head. You're able to return to work and you're system free. So, but your job says you need to be tested negative, but the paper says positive, but then the description of what I just read and what you just read says the same shit of what I just read to you, said the same thing on your end right there that says I'm negative. But one part of it says I'm positive, but then when you start reading, you may discontinue. It says it from them. You may discontinue home. That means I don't have to be here just to be able to go to work. Of isolation under the following conditions. Alright, at least 10 days has passed since the system first appeared. 10 days been passed. And after them 10 days, I was already been good. October 7th came around that corner. And that was the 8th day when I gotten better. Very better. So, after the 8th day of October 7th, that was the 8th day. October 11th was the 10th day. That's when my mom went to go inside the hospital. And she's been in the hospital ever since. So now, 10 days has passed. October 11th was here. That was October 11th. I got tested. And it says I'm tested positive. But it's been 10 days. I'm showing no symptoms at all, right? I'm not coughing, not running nose, etc. And I get tested, but I have a note that says otherwise. I can return back to work. I can go back to work. But if your job is telling you, because that's just the company's rule, right? The company says you need to come back negative. But paper says it's telling me I'm negative. I am positive still, even though the paper says otherwise, right? Y'all need a note that says that I'm tested negative. Right here says I'm able to go back to work and I'm showing no symptoms at all. So I'm not contagious. So that means I'm negative. You see how fucking confusing that shit is? Well, paper says you're positive, but then it starts telling you the description of what you are. You're system free. You are not contagious, even though it doesn't say not contagious. But pretty much it says no symptoms at all, and you're able to go back to work. If you're able to go back to work, that means you're not contagious. So now you tell me how that makes any fucking sense to you. If the company does not want you to go back to work, so imagine this. Imagine that was a manager instead, right? Instead of me, it was a manager. And he went back to work. But even though he had the same paper that's in my hands right now, he went back to work. How's that fair? Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine an employee and a manager got sick at the same time, right? And the company knows. But the company says, that I quote, you're not able to come back to work until you're tested negative. That's with any company, by the way. So, to my job, I said job. There's not, if you go outside of the building, does it say the word job? Where do you work at? Job? What's the name of your job that you work at? No, it's called job. So you work at a place called job? Well, yeah. And hey, since you was talking about your job, you need to take the video down. How can I take the video down if I just said job? No. Like, how can I take any of this shit down if I wasn't talking about the company? Like, I wasn't talking shit about the company. I didn't mention the name of the company. Show me in a video where I mentioned the name of the company, and then you have all rights to tell me to take it down. This video right here particularly, I am not taking it down. Because you want to know why? Because I didn't mention about anybody in the fucking video. And also on top of that, didn't talk shit about the company. And, what else? What else you want me to, what else is that's in that guidelines that is somehow broken, even though I didn't break it? Because I was describing what the paper says. But we also have the paper, so technically you gave it to the company that you work with, and since you're reading it off in a video, and now since we have it too of the papers, but you're reading it, you're giving them your information. Technically, you're actually talking about the company. I don't know how in the hell that makes any fucking sense. Okay? It's like you're talking about you and what you got, right? And you're just talking about it and asking how does that make any fucking sense, and then somehow your job at Pizza Hut or whatever has the same papers, and they watch the video that you upload because they're so curious about you talking crap about the job or anything, so they're going to be watching you just in case you fucking slip. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they tell you to take it down because they have the piece of paper of what you gave them. And since you're talking about it on a video, they don't like that because that's going to company's rules. But I don't know how that makes any fucking sense neither. Now, I'm letting you know they have not told me none of that crap yet. I was just saying, just in case, if they want to tell me to take it down. I haven't broken the rule. Since I haven't broken the rule, the video stays up. Okay. So now, anyway, now going back, how does that make any fucking sense? What that paper says, How does that make any sense to you? You tell me. Now, these bills has to be paid. They ain't gonna pay for themselves. You can actually get unemployment. Well, yeah, that's true. I can go on unemployment and then be like, making his unemployment money, and then all of a sudden turn around, the unemployment money is now zero. How the fuck I'm gonna be able to pay that back? Oh, and yeah, you would be able to have to pay that back. Now, if you have some money still in there, then you don't have to worry about paying it back. Now, another thing you have to worry about too is, let's see. If the bills has to be paid, how the fuck you gonna pay without a fucking job, even though you have a job, but they won't let you come back because of the company says so. So now you go to another. Now that's if you go get another job. You quit the first job to go get another job. That's the only way you'd be able to get a fucking paycheck. But depends on when you do this. So the only way you do this is get another job, but when do you do it is when the when the bills are coming in at the time. It depends on when you did all this. Like when you got your next job or whatever is when you will be able to get paid the next time. So if your bills are due, you is fucked if you don't have the money in front. So now that's where I stand. I don't have a car. Well, I have a car, but I don't have my license to be able to drive. I don't have none of that shit. And once I get my driver's license, then turn around trying to go back to work, even though they want me tested negative, right? But they won't let me back in. I'm fucked. So the best thing to do is get a different job. But again, if they're gonna ask me to go get tested and I'm tested positive, I'm still fucked. But I have this to prove it. But they want me to be tested all the way out negative. Now, if that happened to somebody else, like 15 other people, right? And they're all tested positive, but they did exactly what I did and got the same fucking papers and went back to that same fucking job, but the managers and the company said you're not able to come back to work unless you're tested negative. Well, you're going to be really up a fucking creek without a paddle because of 15 people are gone and you only have like 5 people left. How the hell are you going to manage that shit? No, you got like 2 managers are there and you got 3 employees. 2 managers, 3 employees. 2 managers, 3 employees. Now you ask me how you going to manage that? And you got customers out there. You got food to serve. Unless you got 1 server or 2 servers, and you got 1 server, 1 line cook, and 1 dishwasher. Now you see right there, you have to be turning heads and say, hey, y'all come back in, because then the manager has to lie and say, hey, yeah, they're all tested negative. But if they want the paper, well, you're fucked. You're pretty much screwed. The whole company itself is pretty much screwed at this point. So now that's where I'm at to this day. So my question is to you. How in the hell does this makes any fucking sense, right? How would that make any sense to you, and how would that be fair if a manager got sick and then he went through the same route you did, was staying home for that long period of time, and then go back, get tested after that 10th day or the 11th day just to be safe, and then go back, get tested, but remain positive that whole fucking time, stayed positive, but got a paper that says otherwise, that you're pretty much negative because you're not showing no symptoms at all, and you don't have a hot running fever. I mean, you don't have a high fever or anything like that. So right here in this paper telling you all that shit, and he goes back to work because he's a manager, so he has a higher advantage. How does that make any fucking sense? If that would have happened to you, that will be bullshit. If that would have happened to me, that will be bullshit. So, again, that's what I'm asking you. How's this fair? So, that's where I stand to this day. Well, now, my garbage can got fucking stolen. I'm by myself in this fucking house, but my garbage can got stolen. I gotta pay the bills. I can't go back to work until my mom comes out of the hospital. That's a dumbbell, a 1,000-pound dumbbell on your head. You can't even be able to get up from that shit. You might as well dig a big, huge hole and fill that bitch up with snakes and water. Or better yet, quicksands and snakes. Because of, that right there, you're fucked. Oh, and fill with gasoline. Because, with the dumbbell attached down to your fucking foot. And it's just dropping like a fucking anchor. That's complete bullshit. That makes no sense to my opinion. So if I go to another place and get the same fucking results, what else is to do? If your main option is to quit one job just to get another job, and then right there, that's the only fucking way. But you have to tell the other job your reason why you quit. But I'm not going to quit. That's not my option to quit. Because I love the job that I love to work at. I love it a lot. But how this year has been is complete fucked up. This is making 2019 the best year ever. I mean, it's making 2019 the best year ever. And in 2020 is being the worstest fucking year ever. So now later on today, I gotta wake up. Well, I gotta go to sleep because it's 7:57, and I gotta get some sleep after I eat, of course, and put the rest of the groceries up. Get some sleep, and then call this place when they opened up and ask them to give me a new fucking garbage can because mine got fucking stolen. If y'all say I didn't pay the fucking bill, well, guess what? You're right. I didn't pay that fucking bill, but my mom did. My mom was the one who paid the damn bill. It's paid. But if it's stolen, I want a fucking new one. And here's a fucking other thing too. I get a random ass phone call from a I'm just gonna say the name. I'm gonna say the number 603-217-5626. I got a number on my phone and on my mom's phone from a name Tina. She calls that fucking phone, sends me a voice message because I'm not there to even answer it because, you know, and then she was asking for my mom's name. She was asking for my mom, but then why would you use my number too? I know you used my number to contact me, but why in the fuck was you asking for my mom? And then why would you use my number to, you know, why would you call my number too? Just to ask for my mom? Because you probably know damn well that the mother has a son that lives with her, but you won't give no information out. And then you're over there on that other fucking line laughing and saying that, well, this stuff, right? It doesn't sound like that stuff. And you're laughing in the fucking background. You, ma'am, is a bitch. Just for that. You was a bitch. Okay? Just for laughing in the background, for being a smartass and telling me that's not that. So how would you know if you haven't gotten this stuff, right? You only say that shit lasts for a week, which you is true. But if you've been in a hospital for a fucking week, 5 days, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, today's the 16th, sorry. And let's go back again, the 16th, right? She's been there for 5 days. Oh shit, make that you said it only lasted for about a week. So, and she's been sedated. She's on a ventilator. She needs a ventilator machine to be able to breathe. How in the fucking hell are you gonna tell me that is the stuff? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the stuff. While you're laughing in the background like a fucking complete smartass. It's because you never gotten this stuff, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because if you did know what the hell he's talking about, you would understand that your ass would have been in a hospital and having a hard time breathing and been sedated throughout the whole fucking week. And you're telling me right then and there that that person should be out in that week after going in the hospital but sedated. Now you tell me where the fuck you get your info at. Now that little shit I just said, that's not from my job. That's from a bitch who called my fucking number and called my mom's number just to ask for my mom. But I'm her son, and you can't give me no information. What are you gonna do? So it's like so she tells this bitch Tina tells my mom whatever she like, cause they're asking for my mom. So my mom picks up the phone. Pretend my mom picks up the phone, and they give her the information. What are you not gonna think? You gonna think she ain't gonna tell anybody else? That's what you're so worried about me for? So, if y'all give me the info, you think I'm going to tell it to anybody else too? How in the fuck are you working there? How? Well, like, what's going through your fucking stupid ass head? How in the fuck are you working there? That's my question. How in the hell are you working there? Okay. So, now, how long is this shit? 32 minutes. 32 fucking minutes. I have been talking. So now, I'm going to go get something to eat, watch YouTube, call these people, hope they gotta give me a brand new garbage can, or tell me some dumb shit and says I didn't pay the damn bill, even though they're right, but my mom paid it. It's been paid. October the fucking 3rd. So, or the 1st, one or the other. And, you know, go from there. And that bitch calls my phone again, I'ma call that shit again. I'm gonna call her ass up again and tell me, stop calling my fucking number. If you're looking for my mom, you don't need to be calling my fucking number neither. With a fucking attitude that you got, you stupid bitch. Okay? So, that's to Tina, by the way. That's to Tina. So anytime I say bitch, I say the word Tina. So, anyway, if you please excuse me, I'm gonna go fucking eat and have this shit on my plate. So, again, but you tell me how that make any fucking sense to you. Okay, I want you to tell me somehow, some given way, how that makes any fucking sense to you. What this paper has fucking said. Tell me that. So anyway, I'm out. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.